hopefully. Can everybody hear me okay? I'm slightly worried. I've adjusted the volume on my microphone and I'm not sure it's working properly. So if you can't hear me, let me know. But hello, I'm back in the same stone circle I was this time last year. Anybody that remembers the live I did this time last year when I kicked this whole thing off knows that I was in a stone circle in Wigtonshire, which is where I am now. Hope everybody's doing okay. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Laurie from Temecula, California. No, these are all actually comments from beforehand, but I can see there's a few people on there. Kathleen Dolan, greetings from Nevada. Yeah, all's good with me, thank you. How has the weather been where you are? It is something, has been like something like 19, 20 degrees centigrade here all day, which is actually pretty warm for this part of the world. Unusually warm. I've actually been on the beach all day, at the beach next to the farm I grew up on, which is, so I'm at my mum's house at the moment, down in Wigtonshire, which is right at the bottom of Scotland, so Wigtonshire, Dumfries and Galloway, in a stone circle. This is called Storehouse Stone Circle. I'll let you see it properly by maybe standing back a bit. You can kind of see, whoops, it's the wrong way around. There you go, 19 granite boulders. Goodness knows how they actually got them here, but this is where I am. In a stone circle at sunset, what could possibly go wrong? I don't know, maybe an army of hippies turning up or something. But yeah, the weather's been great. I've been on the beach half the day. It was all peaceful, and then we heard this weird kind of droning sound in the background. Kids were swimming, and my mum sort of said, "Is that a jet ski?" And my brother turned up on a jet ski and everything went kind of mad. But yeah, amazing day on the beach. Little bit sunburnt, which isn't unusual for me if I go anywhere near the sun. But yeah, it's been really good. How's everyone else been? What's your Sunday been like? Actually, probably a lot of people, it's probably closer to the beginning of their Sunday than the end of the Sunday. It's about, it's just after 8 p.m. here. So I thought I'd jump on for half an hour. It's been a year since I actually kicked off this whole doing Scotland Unplugged all the time thing. And I kicked it all off inside this very stone circle, just because it's one of my favourite places in the area. So I thought I'd come back here. I thought it'd be quite a good place to kind of chat to everybody. I've been a bit quiet over the last week. I've been quite busy with other things. I've been working on writing things, which is a little bit different. Let's see what everybody's saying. Hi from Wisconsin. It looks fabulous. It is pretty fabulous. You can't kind of, you don't get really, maybe turn the camera around to see what you can see, apart from my car, which has all the windows open because it's just too warm. So these are the stones. You can kind of get a sense of where I am. It's a pretty amazing place actually. It's, as I say, it's one of my favourite places in the area. There's 19 granite stones, boulders, whatever you want to call them. And in the middle, there's these 3 boulders. And legend has it that they are, so you'll see people leave offerings for them on these stones. So legend has it that these are the tomb of King Galdus, who's a mythical Caledonian, what do you want to call him, Pictish king, who regularly gave the Romans a good pasting. He probably never existed. Local legend says that he was either buried here or he's buried in a place called Cairn Holy, which is a few miles along the coast. It's a chambered cairn, but there's no actual record of him ever having existed. There's not actually any record of who really lived here during Roman times anyway. The only thing we have is like a reference to a tribe called the Novantae, but the only thing we know about them is the fact they were called the Novantae by the Romans. We don't know what they called themselves or anything like that. But yeah, this is pretty cool. You can maybe see in the distance over the top of these stones, there's actually another 5, well there's 3 bigger boulders in the field across the road and 2 smaller ones in between. It's pretty cool. What's happening on here? Let's see. It's 2 p.m. in Galveston Island, Texas. Working outside on the patio. Nice. Sounds good, Gianna Barrow. Sharon M, hello from Alberta, can't speak, Alberta, Canada. I've just basically wolfed my dinner down just to get up here. Let me turn this back around again. It looks hot there, it's freezing here, it's noon, so hoping it warms up. It's hot here. It's not actually, like, relatively, it's not that hot. The thing is that we live in, well, I don't live here anymore, but I grew up here. This is the west coast of Scotland, and the west coast of Scotland gets the Gulf Stream, so it kind of goes up and round the top of the Atlantic and comes back down again. And that means it's kind of warmer here than it is in the rest of kind of Scotland, but it's also kind of damper. So when it does get hot, it feels almost too hot, a little bit what they'd call close round here. And when it gets cold, it feels really cold because there's a lot of moisture in the air. So that's the kind of difference around here. Marvin Watts just finished work. Sunny here across the Solway in Cumbria. I was in Cumbria recently. Actually, I was doing. I was talking about the reavers and the Cursing Stone in Carlisle. It's a long time since I've been in Carlisle, but obviously, having grown up here, I have spent quite a bit of time in Carlisle over the years. It's a place I quite like going, actually. Margot Lamb, hello from Iowa. Hello. Stephanie Bruce, North Carolina, US. Corey Poindexter, Greensboro, North Carolina. Peeping said, hello, US and Canada. Nice. Can I speak Gaelic? Gaelic, sorry, I should say. Almanac. No, I can't at all, no. It's not something we kind of learn in school. It's funny, actually, that they maybe teach it in schools now, but it's not something we ever learned when I was in school. Although things have obviously changed over the years, there's been much more of an emphasis on Gaelic. So you'll see if you come to Scotland, or if you live in Scotland, you'll notice that a lot of the ambulances and police cars have the Gaelic spellings of ambulance and police on them. They mean the same thing. They kind of say the same thing, but they're spelled differently. And that's kind of something to do with kind of embracing Gaelic more as a language, because it really was a language of half the country up until, in fact, all the country, most of the country at one point. People around here a long time ago would have spoken Gaelic, but people north of the kind of Highland boundary fault line would definitely have spoken Gaelic up until about the kind of late kind of 18th century. It started to die. Well, in fact, probably later than that as well. Hello from US. Hello from US. Hello from us, Caroline Parker. Hello, Caroline, and Jack, and James, and Sophie, and Mum, if you're watching this on TV. I don't know if you are, if you're not. That is quite a big TV, though. That wouldn't be a good look. West Coast. You're on the West Coast. Lady Liberty, hello from Georgia. Nice mild weather, but they promised thunderstorms. I feel like we're going to get thunderstorms here. And middies. Ruth Smith, hi from San Diego. Sarah Hunter in Carlisle, 10 minutes walk from the Cursing Stone. Yeah, I didn't know much about it until somebody from there's a Facebook page called Border Reavers Genealogy, and the guy that runs that, I was talking to him, and he was talking about the mother of all curses, and I kind of looked that up because it was issued by a guy called Gavin Dunbar, who actually was born probably about 5 miles that way in a place called Mockram, and was the bishop of, well, no, the prior of Whithorn. And Whithorn is about, Whithorn I should say, is about kind of 10 miles that way. 10 miles that way? Probably 10 miles that way. I should know that. I grew up near Whithorn myself. And yeah, so he's the man that issued the curse. And I know a lot of people actually believe in it quite strongly. Wendy Lowry King. Hi again from NWFL. Not sure new. I think we were talking last time I was up here. I seem to remember because Whereabouts am I from? So I'm from Whitingshire in Scotland, Dumfries and Galloway, so it's the bit at the bottom of Scotland where I am right now, which is the bit that kind of sticks out like a hammer. Is probably the best description I can give you. Scots history with Nico. That's a good subject for your next video. Why did we stop learning Gaelic? Gaelic. Why do I keep saying Gaelic? Gaelic. Gaelic in Scotland, Gaelic in Ireland. Why did we stop? I've covered it a little bit in a couple of videos I've done, so it was never officially banned in schools, but the schools basically, after Culloden and the Act of Prescription, they had to basically, all schools had to be approved, and it covered schools that taught Latin and English, but they basically meant that schools shouldn't have been teaching, the way it was worded meant that schools shouldn't have been teaching Gaelic as a language, and all schools had to be approved by the government, which meant that teaching Gaelic was never going to be approved and certified. There was tighter controls over it. It was never officially banned, but it was pretty much banned that way. Michael in Victoria, hello. Early morning here and freezing. I can imagine, obviously, you're getting the opposite end of the weather. It's now going into winter where you are. I've done an Australian winter, no, I've done an Australian summer before, although it was obviously our winter, but I kind of arrived in October and it was cold, surprisingly cold, especially when you fly in from Kuala Lumpur. Scott says through, Nico, thanks very much. Almanac Mapper, it is a nice area, it is very much. I'm biased, but it is. Annie D, hi from Berwick, is that Berwick on Tweed? Not going to be North Berwick, is it? Otherwise you'd have said North Berwick, but yeah. Sound is good, good stuff. Logan Gra, hi from Scotland here too. Good stuff. What was I going to talk about? I'd written stuff down, but basically I haven't put out a video this week because I've been really busy writing. I took a week just to do writing because it's quite difficult kind of managing time between writing and writing videos, and editing videos takes a long time to do. It shouldn't take a long time to do, I should be better at it by now, but it can take a while. So it can take me 2 days, maybe even sort of 3 days to edit a really complicated video, depending on the length of it and how many different locations there are and how many different bits there are to it. And sometimes you're kind of changing the content if you're pushed, you can be kind of doing more research as you're actually doing the voiceover as well, just to make sure everything's kind of bang on. I do occasionally make mistakes, and I'll always try and point those out on live feeds later on if I do. Hi from North Berwick. You made it first time, which one? Yeah. I said North Berwick, so you did, yeah. Good morning from California, Glasgow or Edinburgh? Glasgow or Edinburgh, yeah. Glasgow or Edinburgh, what a question, Glasgow or Edinburgh. I've lived in both, and both are great places to live for different reasons. That was quite political, wasn't it? Yeah, both cities are great to live in. Glasgow because it's really kind of cutting edge and there's loads of stuff going on, bands and comedy, and when I lived in Glasgow I was trying to do stand-up comedy, and that was a great place to live for that. Edinburgh, I'm getting older, I'm 46. Edinburgh's a lot more laid back. You can kind of go to the pub and not worry about, I don't know, it's kind of, it's not as style conscious a city, I suppose, is a kind way of putting it. You don't really have to make so much effort if you're in Edinburgh. You can kind of just turn up as you are. And yeah, also my wife's from Edinburgh. I did study in Edinburgh years ago, so it's a place I've always loved, and it was a place I kind of always thought I would go back to anyway. So yeah, if I had to live in one now, I would choose Edinburgh, but in my 20s, living in Glasgow was pretty good. Which one? Lincoln, UK. Good afternoon, Maine, USA. Hello. So yeah, I've been, it's been a year. I can't believe it's been a year. That's mental. I don't know where the time's gone. I think I said I was going to do 10 months, but we're still here. After a year, still going. I don't know if I thought I was going to run out of video subjects. I'm not sure why I thought that would happen, but It keeps on going. We keep finding new things to make videos about, and new places to go. And I haven't been half the places I've wanted to go. So I haven't been to the islands, or I really want to go to Shetland to make a video about whiskey. I want to go to Ireland and make a video about whiskey, but I also want to go to Shetland and make a video about various things, but whiskey is one of the subjects in that. What videos are coming up? So I've got one coming up about Loudon Hill, the Battle of Loudon Hill. So Loudon Hill is in Ayrshire. It's really cool. I was there last week, went for a walk just to kind of check it out, and it's like a volcanic plug, but its history goes back really far. It goes back to kind of Roman times. And there's, well, obviously it's been there a lot longer than that, but the actual kind of documented history goes back to Roman times. There've been Roman forts there. Well, there was a Roman fort there. There've been a road that went right past it. There was a battle fought there by Robert the Bruce. Some say there was a battle fought there by William Wallace. Whether it actually happened or not, nobody really knows. A lot of what we know about, or what we have heard about William Wallace, was written by a guy called Blind Harry, who kind of made a lot of it up, really. Although he said he had access to records from John Blair, who was supposedly William Wallace's biographer and one of his oldest friends, but we'll never know if it's true or not. So yeah, I'm going to go there and make a video about that. What else am I going to do? Oh, golfing Jacobite is another thing that I'm going to make a video about. I kind of touched on that subject when I made a video about golf, which was probably one of my highlights of the year, because my family have always kind of played golf next to the sea. In Scotland, it's kind of funny because in other countries, golf can be a little bit kind of elitist, and it can be really expensive. I mean, it is quite expensive, but in Scotland, it tends to be, because it kind of emerged here, or the rules were kind of put together here, the way we play it now. In Scotland, it tends to be a game that isn't necessarily as kind of elitist as it can be elsewhere, so just lots of people play golf. But yeah, we sort of grew up next to a golf course and played a lot of golf growing up, though I was never as good as my brother. Never tell him I said that, but James, my brother, was a really good golfer. Could have turned pro, but he decided against it. And he was really good, but the difference was he was just really driven. All he wanted to do all the time was practice golf. So it was quite personal, because I managed to put him in the video. So if anybody saw that golfing video, you'll see at the end it said golfer played by James Parker. That is my brother, and he was actually playing at St Andrews that day, which was kind of a big deal for him, which is amazing. So I enjoyed doing that video. But I kind of touched on a story about a golfing Jacobite who was a guy that was imprisoned for his part in the Battle of Culloden, but I think he won a golf competition and then was and then went back and won it again. But I think it was maybe the first golf competition, but I'm not sure. We'll go into that, and I've got some more research to do on that and things. Which one? Where am I? So I'm in a stone circle. This is Torhouse Stone Circle in Wigtonshire. Just outside the town of Wigtown, which is about 3 miles away from where I am now, which is where my wife and kids and my mother are right now, in front of the TV probably, watching this in kind of in vertical, which is a bit weird, but it wouldn't let me do it in horizontal for live. I had to reset my settings and I didn't have time, so sorry about that. Hi from Kelso Ann, Logan Gra. Where in Ayrshire? You were, I live in South Ayrshire. That's William Wallace Tower. Oh, okay. Yeah, in Ayrshire I was. Oh yeah, that's where I was. Yeah, I was there with a friend of mine who's actually from Ayrshire, and he knows all these places, so it's quite good to kind of get out and see these things. Peeping said A95 Whiskey Trail in Morayshire is special. Yeah, no, I can imagine. That could be, that could get messy. I need to take like a whiskey expert with me. I know nothing about whiskey, and I don't really even drink that much. That's maybe something I should confess to as a Scotsman. I don't know. I'm not a big drinker. Don't think really anybody in my family is a big drinker, but my Uncle John knows a lot about whiskey, so maybe I should drag him along with me. Maybe need educated on the ways of whiskey. Although my wife probably knows a lot about it as well, to be fair. Hello from newly immigrated Seattle person to the Highlands of Argyll 3 days ago. Wow. How are you finding the first 3 days? Beautiful scenery? Yeah, it is indeed. I can't take any credit for it, but just lucky with the weather. We were visiting the Hoof GP. Yes, I was visiting the Hoof GP last night. We were watching a boxing match. And yeah, he turned up on a jet ski earlier on. Not here, but when I was on the beach. So yeah, hanging out with the Hoof GP and with my sister and Craig and I'm going to go and see my other sister tomorrow. But my other brother is down, there's 5 of us, is down in London at the moment. He's just... he's beaten me to publication, so he's just published his own book, which is a book of his sculptures. So if you like sculptures, Google James Parker sculpture and you might be able to bag a copy of his book before he stops printing it. Linda was there, hot, tired. Yeah, fair enough. If it's in like here, it feels hotter than it actually is. Retriever 19, golden, enjoy your videos and your sense of humour, thank you very much. I think my poor wife gets quite sick of my sense of humour sometimes. Anne Bell, did you see the comment about William Wallace's monument at Melrose? No, I didn't know. I've not spent that much time in the Borders because there's so many places to see and so many things to do, but I'll get there eventually. Hello from New York. Looks like beautiful weather. It really is. Yeah, what was I going to chat about? I'm going to have to jump off in about 9 minutes, but I'm moving over to Facebook. So if you can find me on Facebook, I'll be there. Yeah, I was just going to chat about just the fact that it's been a year was really kind of why I jumped on. And I've obviously not put out a video this week, but there are more videos coming your way. Just because I've been busy writing. More writing ongoing, so there is going to be a Scotland Unplugged book eventually. I've got about a fifth of it done at the moment, and I'm just kind of carrying on with that, which is taking a bit of time, but it's a lot of fun writing these things because you can kind of go into depth a bit more, and I've always enjoyed writing. Anyway, I've written a couple of crime novels and yeah, some other things as well. So it's something I enjoy doing. So it's nice to be able to balance both of these things out. Highlights from the year. Kilt video going viral, that was probably a highlight. Culloden was definitely a highlight. Going to Loch Ness, hunting for the Loch Ness Monster. The highlight of that was really the fact that my daughter made me do it. Said she wanted to go hunting for Nessie and then claimed she'd actually seen Nessie. Maybe she did, I don't know. She said she saw a yellow eye and a green streak in the water. So you never know. Going to the Museum of Flight. I wound up there completely by accident and made a video about an airship that burst and had to be it was the first crossing of the Atlantic from east to west, and it was done in an airship from North Berwick, just outside North Berwick. East Fortune Airfield, sorry. So yeah, I went there by accident. I was in, I borrowed a Lamborghini and I went to, I was dropping it off for servicing, and I wound up, I was very lucky that I got to do that for a morning, and I thought, where can I go? And it seemed natural to take a flying machine to the Museum of Flight, and when I was there I found this story and I just couldn't not make a video about it. So if you're looking for a video to watch, that's a good one to watch because it's just a crazy story. There's a cat involved in everything. What else is happening? Hello from Morgan, hello. Congratulations on first year, thank you, Jenna Barrow. Very much looking forward to the book. So man, I'm looking forward to getting it done, if I ever actually get it done. Charlotte Carter, only been a year, seems longer. It has been longer. I have been making videos for longer, but I haven't been doing it sort of all the time for longer. This is, I've been spending a lot more time on it this year. But yeah, where we are, I was going to say there's another video I might do at some point. Just along from here, and I've never been, there's a thing called the Crowstone. This is kind of what Scotland's like. There are weird things hidden away. And I overheard a conversation in my mum's coffee shop one day, and somebody said they'd gone to a place, they called it the Bridal Stone. And I thought, that's kind of weird. But apparently the tradition has it and traditions can be wrong, especially around here where things have evolved and changed over time, that there's this stone just kind of over here behind me somewhere, probably around those two sets of trees. That there's this thing called, some people call it the crow stone, some people call it the bridal stone, and tradition goes that that when people got married, it's a stone with a big hole through it, and people would put their hands through the stone and link up and get married that way. It was maybe a sort of a pagan thing, but nobody knows for sure. But quite a cool place to go and visit. I need to go and see that soon. Things that are on your doorstep. Shalley Carter, where can you find your books? You can't really find them anywhere at the moment. I've written 2 crime novels. I self-published one of them. I really wasn't happy with it, so I kind of took it down, and I'm rewriting it. The other kind of follow-up to that book is still on my hard drive. I'm still not happy with it, so I'm kind of rewriting that. So while I have written 2 crime novels, they're not actually published at the moment, but we'll remedy that as soon as I can. It's just... yeah, just finding the time to get it done. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and sometimes that holds things up a little bit. Melissa Rush, you live in North Carolina, would love to be in Scotland. Yeah, I can highly recommend it. I am slightly biased. North Carolina looks good too, though, to be fair. Harry Shorts, you show the Loch Ness Monster. You saw the Loch Ness Monster. Yeah, the Loch Ness Monster was a fun video to make because I didn't know the story about the Loch Ness Monster hoax. And then somebody got in touch and told me another bit of the Loch Ness Monster hoax story, because there was a guy that got hoaxed, and then he hoaxed everyone else. But yeah, go and watch the video and you'll see what I mean. It's an interesting story, the Loch Ness Monster. But it was a fun one to make because my daughter was just desperate to go there, so we obviously took the kids there. Katie, hello, from Colorado, hello. I am going to have to disappear in a minute. There's a cute kids show about Loch Ness Monster. They make it, cute song, glad kids went along. Yeah, there wasn't there? Was there not like a cartoon? But there's not a family of them or something. That's ringing bells. I read Supergran died last week. Supergran was a peculiar Scottish TV show from my youth. Always good to look back on these things. But I am going to have to disappear. If you're bored, go over to Facebook. You'll find me over there for half an hour as well. But yeah, thank you all for all your support and for watching the videos and for all the comments and just for coming on these live streams for the past year. It's been amazing. I couldn't do it without an audience. So yeah, thank you all so much for just taking part and watching the videos, without which I wouldn't be here. Have a great Sunday, whatever you're up to. And I will be back with another video soon, and back with another live from, well, not this stone circle, but somewhere else sometime soon. See you later.